Well, good morning, folks. Welcome back to an absolutely gorgeous, if not windy, it's very windy, in fact, morning here on the farm. Today's agenda, our mission, if we choose to accept it, and we have to accept it because if we don't, who else is going to do it, is to get the sheep moved. So we have a couple ladies in behind the shop here. They got to move. There's one ram lamb back in there that's got to come out. He's going to get weaned. We got to get our big rams down from the square ram pen down by the dugouts, bring them up to the top of the field here. Then all the ladies that are down at the bottom of the dugout pasture are going to move to the new pie-shaped piece that we fenced the other day. So order of precedence, what I got to do, I've got Cousin Eddie's house in the back of the side-by-side. It's already set up there in a pen. The ewes are caught, the lambs are caught. The rams, well, we'll figure that out when we go there. Chickens are singing their morning breakfast song, so I better get them fed. I gotta take some panels down to the bottom just to direct some flow of sheep, because even if I stand there like this, I'm pretty confident they're just gonna try and weave around me, and it's not a good day for a rodeo, let's just say that. So Carmen and Charlotte, they got me this pretty cool aluminum crook. We're gonna use that today to catch. It's got a leg crook and a neck crook. We're gonna use that today to catch, I'm guessing, everybody. And yeah, so my other one, I had a fiberglass one before, and you know, was good. I mean, it was better than nothing, but we used it to chase cows one day, and one good tap on the ass on a cow, and it actually just shattered. So, well, that was the end of that. So I had to cut it off. It's now a 4-foot crook, so it works okay in small confined spaces, like if you're catching somebody in the lambing shelter or something like that. But if you're in a big wide open area like this and you really need to stretch yourself out, make yourself long, it doesn't work very well. So hopefully this is going to be good. And if it does slide out of your hand, that leg crook, will provide a hook around your fingers and still keep you in control of the ewe or the ram or whoever you're trying to catch. And likewise, if we're trying to get one out of, say, a thick crowd and we can't get in their necks because their necks are all down, we can use the leg crook and just reach in there and pluck one back. That's going to make life quite a bit easier. So a few moments ago, I had actually caught these two ewes and their sets of twins in this little holding pen we have here. And I got what we call Cousin Eddie's house. It's like the mobile chicken coop / sheep moving trailer. It works really good for this. So I got it parked up here, and pretty much all I got to do is take this panel, push it inward, use it kind of like a little bit of a squeeze just to confine them into the corner, and I can reach in there and grab the one I want. The one ram lamb is in here, and we want to separate him now before he reaches breeding maturity. So that's usually around 4 months for these ram lambs. And I mean, for obvious reasons, right? We don't want sons breeding daughters or breeding sisters kind of thing. So we kept him back because we obviously have quite a large number of completely unrelated ewes, and he looks absolutely fantastic. Really good body conditioning, really good stature and composition, and some nice coloration as well. So he would be a really good potential future breeding ram. I don't know if he's going to be a breeding ram for us, or if we'll just raise him to maturity and end up selling him to somebody else that's looking for one. Anyways, enough about that. Let's get some ewes caught. This is the round pen. Nice big circular pen. I don't even know how far apart that is. That's got to be at least 60 feet across. Anyways, we're gonna put the ewes and one set of twins and one single, because we left the other twin up top, in here momentarily. It's just a temporary holding pen for now until we move the rams out of the adjacent holding pen, get them up top, move our panels around so that this field over here is secure. And then it's just gonna be an all-you-can-eat smorgasbord for these girls. Come on, ladies. Please go through that gate. There you go. Good job. Snack time. Come on out, fellas. Come on, there's some tasty grass over there. You should really come out. Boy, I tell you, what a rodeo it was to get these two boys in here. Like that new crook, let me tell you, that new crook, if I didn't have that crook attached to Todd's neck, Todd's the big Suffolk ram here in the back, he jumped and he would have cleared a 5-foot tall security panel. 5 feet for a big heavy Suffolk ram like this. I was absolutely amazed. I could barely hang on to him. Jock, he's more of a short stroker, takes short, quick, sharp lunges, and he can be a real challenge to hang on to as well, but not nearly the high jumper that Todd is here. Anyways, come on out, boys. Go on. What kind of coaxing do you need? Come on. Come on. If I stand back, will you come? How about if I get a bucket of grain? Come on. All right, we're gonna make a day of this, I guess. Okay, that's fine too. So these two fellas have no desire to come out of the trailer. That's fine. So I'm gonna use the leg crook, reach in there, snag one, pull him out to the door, and convince him it's in his best interest to go out that direction. But I'm gonna need both hands for this one, so I'll let you know how it goes. Hell, talk about a game changer. Just reach in, grab him right behind the knee or above the ankle, pluck him, and suck them right out of there. Worked fantastic. So they are in the pen here, happily eating some weeds down, and they can do that over a couple of weeks while the pen behind the shop actually recovers. I think that's the new better game plan. So I'm back down here now in the big pie-shaped piece, and I'm just putting these panels up on the gate. There was previously, well, there's still there, is a barbed wire gate that goes across here. Now I got to put the panels up for 2 reasons. Well, the biggest one is the sheep are just going to walk right underneath the barbed wire gate. And the second one is the cows just right next door are going to put a lot of pressure on this for the first couple of days because they're new to this field, which has a grass blend in it, but it's not doing as well because it was juvenile grass, basically burnt in the sun, versus this grass, which is mature grass, well-rooted grass, well-watered grass, is quite lush by comparison. There's a lot more orchard grass and meadow brome in here. This is dessert first, consequences later kind of grass. So we want this line secured. So I'm gonna get this gate closed. I gotta go grab one more security panel from the ram pen and put it on the other side of the field where the cows could also put pressure on the gate, and then we'll be ready to let some sheep into this field. Well, I do believe they call this the moment of truth. As soon as I remove these 2 boards, the sheep will have full access from their current pasture into this lush green pasture. So let's go ahead, get this knocked off, and call them girls over. Come on, girls. Got more coming in behind. June is on the wrong side of the fence. Come on. Come on, June, get over here. You babies should come across too, and then I can get June in here. Come on. Come on, babies. All right, so the sheep are all moved. I'm over here by the chicken house. So this is the next piece of exciting news. Underneath Charlotte's playhouse over there for the last couple weeks, we have had a chicken laying on a clutch of eggs. I checked underneath there today. She's gone. There's 2 eggs left, which is fine. There's obviously some duds. But underneath the big chicken house, there's some cheep happening. Now there's no physical way I'm gonna crawl underneath there and go check on those chicks. But Mama's got them in a nice secure spot. And it'll be interesting over the next couple of days to see if they pop out and emerge and just what they look like. Well, it's now, I think, 9:30 at night. And after the rodeo, we get in the sheep. The boys are in here, that's good. All the mamas and stuff, we moved over to greener pastures there earlier today. I left the gate open to the dugout so they had access to water because they haven't been able to get water troughs down there yet. But I'm hearing off in the distance the noise of mismatched babies and mamas. And I just want to be sure that's not because somebody's on the wrong side of a fence. We already had a bit of a rodeo with that earlier today when I did move some stuff over. June and one of the lambs were on the wrong side of the fence. Got them back, secured the fence. Everybody was where they're supposed to be, but that noise just gets, the hairs on the back of my neck So I gotta go check. So before I do that, I'm just gonna top up the water for the meat chickens here. So the last few weeks we've been outside the chicken tractor. The chicken tractor's there for shelter. We've got the poultry netting, well, it's not poultry netting, it's really sheep netting set up all around this big open area here. That allows them to get exercise, sunlight. They have their pick of the fresh greens. And that was a big challenge because when everything else was turning brown, we were actually irrigating this area here to keep it lush so that the chickens can still get that pasture poultry effect, right? And we did take them off of a commercial feed supplement, and we just put them on the regular grain ration that we actually give our layer hens. So it's peas, wheat, barley, oats, and a little bit of canola, primarily to slow them down right now, because especially coming through a heat wave, we knew, we had to butcher some early, but the prime time to do them is actually now, as far as age-wise. But the reality is that because it's so bloody hot out, it's probably not the best time to be trying to process chicken in the shop. So what we want to do is kind of target a cooler day when we can actually do this. So we just put them on a little bit of slower feed and allow them to have some exercise, so that maybe they're not gaining, excessively like they previously were. And we're not dealing with chickens having heart attacks. We're not dealing with chickens having leg issues because they're overweight or they're unexercised. And it's working out quite well for us. We did actually do this last year too. Different environmental, it wasn't because we were through a heat wave or anything like that. It was more just because we had a lot of grassy area in there. We actually ran them in the lambing pen, just drug the chicken tractor right in there, and that worked well as well. So we're not really on new turf with this, but just different reasons for doing it, that's all. So I'm down here now in the field that we just turned the sheep loose into today, and even though I'm down here, I can hear sheep noises, but I can't see anybody, which, although initially that's worrisome, it does make me happy, because the grass is so tall and rich here that you literally can't see the sheep through it, because it's over 2.5 feet tall in some spots. As I'm just walking over, I can see up against the corrals, the round pen there where we were earlier today. I can see a few heads bobbing, so that's good. So we're just gonna take a walk through. I got this section mowed along the fence line here, so it makes a nice walking path. I'll run all the way down to the end like a super highway here and check in on everybody. So a couple of things I need to check on here. Well, 3 things really. Because they're coming from pasture that didn't have really much grass left in it, come to one that's very, very lush. I want to just look at their conditioning, look at their left side of their belly, make sure nobody's getting bloat, not overeating. I'm not going to come out here tomorrow and there's just going to be 4 hoofs sticking up in the air because they've eaten themselves to death. I also want to make sure, because this is a new pasture and as they're inquisitive, make sure nobody's stuck in a fence or, in a panel or under a log or somewhere they shouldn't. They've just got themselves in a predicament. And then also, thirdly, while they're out exploring here, I want to make sure they haven't found any holes in the fence that I wasn't aware about. So, because we built this fence along the west side, and we built a fence along the north side. The stuff on the east side and around the corrals and stuff here was pre-existing and has held cattle for a number of years and horses for a number of years. We haven't ever actually ran sheep in this field ever. So this is a momentous occasion for us, right? We talked about this last year, earlier on in the spring, about this being a long-term goal to be able to get sheep in here, because theoretically there's enough acreage right here to be able to run 50 sheep for the summer. Maybe not on a year like this. As you can see, the girls are coming in here looking good. There's Sharon right there. There's June. Glad to see that June's on the right side of the fence. Rose is way in the back. There's Duchess. Duchess is Charlotte's little sheep there. I can see Mavis away off to the northeast. So things are looking good. I just got to get in around the corrals and again, make sure nobody's tangled up in something they shouldn't be. So here comes Lottie and Gertrude out of the grass. And I think when I was up top and I was hearing that, like, mama and baby calling back and forth and probably lost, that's the reality. They're just in such tall grass, they have no idea where their counterparts are. So they're playing this sheep version of Marco Polo. So over in the round pen here, we've got Olga and her one ewe lamb. Uzbi, her other ram lamb, is up with the boys up top still. And then let's see who's in the big corral over here. Oh boy, we got quite a gang here. We got Edith, Beatrice, Queen, Thelma's back there. Was expecting to see Juliet somewhere in here. She's probably hiding off in the tall grass. And then just a whole mess of lambs. So that's good. They are literally tying into this grass. I'm really happy to see that. We'll check back in on them tomorrow morning. Again, we're looking for that swelling on the left side of their belly just because this is a lot of grass all at once. And we don't want anybody to be feeling the downside of some gluttony here. Oh, I can see Juliet there now. She's just on the north end. Really, I'm only worried about her because she's actually our oldest ewe. She's kind of the grandma ewe. Not much for a boss ewe. And she was gonna go to the knacker yard, but she did actually make a nice lamb last year and a couple of nice ones this year. So if she's continuing to produce, well, we'll keep her around for a little bit longer. She's got no health problems. So yeah, let her live out her days quite happily here. Can you hear that? Beep, beep, beep. Over here is one of our baby chicks that just hatched today. Looking awfully small and fragile. Hey there, little fella. It's pretty exciting to see some new life come to the farm. It's especially exciting when it comes to the farm without any human intervention whatsoever. So we're gonna get this little one back to its mama here and get it tucked in. Well, as the sun is just going down here, I think that's a perfect call to go make a cup of tea. So I hope you have a fantastic evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.